Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I've been particularly interested in this knife. The first time I saw it posted, I was on, I think, Jim Skelton's Instagram, and it looked wildly different than what I normally expect from Remette. So I'm going in blind here. I don't know anything about this knife. We're not reviewing it today. We're just unboxing it, giving it a quick first impressions, but it looks super interesting, so I can't wait to take a look. This is available to my knowledge. I will link it down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to Remette for sending it in. Let's see what we've got going on here. So this is called the Remette RT Scepter. I believe this is a knife that's on the larger side versus what we typically see from Remette. And whatever's in here is really putting the pressure on this outer. It's packed full. Okay, here we go. So, not necessarily any, not like it can't be massive, right? Yeah, it does definitely, oh man. It does definitely fill out the pouch though, but look what we've got here. So, yeah. So my first impression of seeing this, I'm going to put a glove on. Obviously not because it's delicate, but I don't want to get my fingerprints all over that Damascus. My first impression seeing this knife on Instagram was, you know, Remette makes a nice knife, but it looks like we're crossing into a new threshold of effort here. This is, I'm only wearing one glove because that's the only hand I'm going to touch most of it with. This is wild. So we have a really nice, very clean, crisp Damascus inlay. I love the distinct layers of what is, I mean, it's like orange, magenta, and then like gold, and then blue. Very non-typical. You know, when we see a lot of Chinese Damascus, it tends to be the same bluishy, orangey, purple stuff. You know, I realize I just named the exact same colors that are in this. But there's a certain type of Damascus that's sort of like, you know, primarily blue that we saw on like everything, and some companies are choosing, you know, it's just, I guess, different anodizing or whatever, but it's making it look really unique. The other cool thing here, let's deploy it, is they have an inlay in the blade, which is not at all something that we typically see. Some people aren't gonna like those screws, but let me tell you something. The alternative is that they use like adhesive to get that in there, and that's not something that I love, right? So the fact that they at least tried with the anodized screws, I do appreciate. I do appreciate that. And also, again, we never see this. We never see inlays in blade. I'm trying to wipe this off so you guys can actually get like a good impression of what this Damascus actually looks like. But my shirt here is going to leave little smudgy marks kind of on the blade. So the Damascus is just as clean as this stuff over here. I was using my shirt. I probably should have used a microfiber cloth. But absolutely gorgeous and super cool. Does that make any difference whatsoever in terms of like functionality? No, none at all. But it is really, really neat. And aside from, you know, as far as my experience with it, I think there was a ZT, like a special edition ZT, where we saw an inlay. Obviously, that carbon fiber composite knife that was like super lightweight, that custom, that blade was, you know, made largely of carbon fiber, not necessarily an inlay. I guess the blade was laid into the composite. But a really cool thing here, not something that we typically see. A ton of stuff that does not aid to utility, but at this tier, we are appealing to people who care about things that go completely, not necessarily beyond, but sort of sidestep utility, right? I mean, this is made for enthusiast collectors. Really, really cool and unique and different, which is fun, given that our knife world has largely become oversaturated with the same stuff over and over and over again. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Actually, what are we? What are we? Button operated frame lock. I'm going to get, oh, is it a top? No way. Okay, I was going to say that was a top frame lock. It's a frame lock, but it's a button operated frame lock. And man, what a smooth frame lock that is. Look at that button. Now, this will have the same inherent weaknesses as a standard frame lock, right? Remette's frame locks have been tested many times on this channel, but we'll go ahead and give her a little tappy. That's all that I require of knives on this channel, and it's surviving just fine. So nice work there. As long as you have, proper geometry, frame lock will be just fine. But I don't want to get too much into the weeds of that because I don't want this channel to turn into like the lock testing channel, right? I know people want me to be fair with frame locks and all of that. So the rule is typically if it's a brand new lock for a company, like if a company's trying out a brand new lock for the first time and I've never tested it before, then I'm probably going to test it. But stuff that I'm already familiar with, especially for each individual company, right? No reason to do that. Unless there's some obvious slip in quality control that is indicative in some other area of the knife, then it might warrant an additional test, right? But I've always trusted Remette to be able to do a frame lock properly, and that they're good enough for me. So, but this is a wild, this is really off the wall here. Doing the button operated frame lock with the inlays and like these crazy, like these big gold pieces. I love the button, right? This is, to my knowledge, probably a DLC. I believe this. And I guess in the past, Remette's DLC has been satiny, so this is more of a chalky. I'm not sure if this is a DLC or if it is just like a lower grade PVD coating. It doesn't actually say on the box, but you can probably go use the link in the description, excuse me, and go to their website and see for yourself. Initially, when I saw the picture of this knife, I thought it was absolutely massive. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Jim's hands or what, or just the angle of the knife. Maybe it was like this. Yeah, a lot of times when you post a knife like this, it just makes it look huge. And then I opened it up just now, and it was folded, and I thought, oh, okay, it's on the smaller side. And then I opened it up again and realized, no, it's not. It's actually still a fairly, big size knife. I'd say that this is 8¼ to 8½. Let's go ahead and measure it. Overall length here, yeah, over 8¼ 8.3 with a 3.75 inch blade length, and I'm going to say almost 3.5 inches of cutting edge there. Very not small for sure. Just really impressed with the extra inlay effort here and the cool blade shape. I mean, I guess if you take all the flash away, it's a profile that we've kind of seen before. It kind of has that notch, that harpoon notch that makes me think of the Stitch, but not so wide, right? The complementary zone here between the index finger and your thumb is really, really nice. Of course, you can, Remette, your pivot action is so good on this. Oh my gosh, that is really nice. You can, of course, use the button. The reason that I like these button operated locks is largely because you can choose to use them entirely with the button, right, or the thumb stud. But when you're disengaging the lock, your fingers never have to be in the blade path, right? If you choose to engage with it like a normal frame lock, then sure, but you can do this. Now, some ergonomic positions will put you in a spot where you could accidentally disengage that button. Here, a little bit, right? You have to be cognizant. You squeeze too hard in the wrong area and you put pressure on that button, you can disengage the lock. That's taken me actually a lot of effort. I'm going to be honest with you. It would have to be here. Gosh, even there though, the amount of travel that it takes. Okay, so I'm going to try intentionally to grip down on this with my index finger on the button, and I'm going to push as hard as I can and see if I can get this button to disengage with one hand. Can I do it backwards like this? Can I just pinch it? The only way I can do it is if I push here and here at the same time and then push on the back. But just squeezing it, I can't get that button to travel far enough. That would be really hard to do. So actually, even lefties here, where I normally say, oh, there's a button, you got to watch out, lefties. The amount of travel it takes to get that frame lock completely off of the lock face there, it's going to take some serious intentional force to do that. So for the most part, no, I think during natural use, you're not going to accidentally disengage it. I think you start to push and you might feel, like as you're pushing on the button, you might feel the blade rock a bit and go, oh, I'm putting pressure on the button, right? at the same time, I look at this and think probably more so going to be purchased by collectors than people who plan to take this out and beat the crap out of it. This looks like much more of a collector enthusiast piece that can be used if the user so chooses. But this is probably one of the most, design-wise, it's one of the most impressive pieces, if not the most impressive piece I have ever seen from Remette. I am very excited to see Remette step into this territory because I know what they can do for the price. So I say absolutely yes, 1000% Remette, go nuts, go crazy, bring us wild and crazy stuff. The knife community is bored with the same thing over and over again. And if you can make a button operate a locking system that we trust more than a plunge lock, yes, I know frame locks are not like, the strongest lock out there, but I trust a good frame lock over a good plunge lock. For sure. So you can bring us stuff like this and put a good price tag on it. I think you're going to have all smiles from the community, all thumbs up. This is really cool. I am just as impressed, if not more impressed with this than I thought I would be after looking at the picture. So super cool. I love blade inlays. I really wish we'd see more of that. So if this is something that you guys can easily do, it's awesome. I love how it looks. Not everybody's going to like it, but I think it looks awesome. That's going to be it for me until the full-length review. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.